this computer. So what's going on? What's going on? I'm trying to figure out this invite, so I don't have to like personally text people on Zoom. So I don't know if did you guys get an email from like the Outlook from the Elite, just so you guys can see that. Start sharing that so that way I can be more productive. Like I feel like I have to like mass text people, and sometimes when I do it, I do a mass text and I forget to text somebody else, and next thing you know, it's like, oh shoot. But at least they're all coming in. They're getting recorded, and I'm slowly filling them out in on YouTube. So topic for the day, it's actually funny because it's the same topic that we're going to go over on our 2 o'clock call. So me and Albert always have the same mental thoughts of what to do. On the meetings, as you guys know, it's on the shared meetings. There's going to be a link in here for productivity and negativity to productivity. So I'll quickly go over this. I'll quickly go over how it applies to us, and then Misha, who's been in a streak, Misha will share a little bit of his experience of what he's been able to do. So this is a quick article. Everyone gets the blues. 11 ways to channel your negativity. So first off, it just talks about like, yeah, everyone gets in that position. Everyone gets in the funk, but you're not alone. But if you feel like this is lasting more than a week or 2 weeks, go get checked. Okay, I don't know if you guys paid attention to the news recently, especially in men. Men don't talk about their feelings. Men don't talk about what's going on in their head. That dude from Ellen DeGeneres, I don't know if it's real or not, but I mean, he passed. I don't know if it's a real suicide or not, or you know, funky. But he was a 40-year-old. He just celebrated his wedding anniversary. His wife was calling, went to the cops, frantic. He left, no game plan, walked to a motel nearby, checked in, and offed himself with the gun. 40-year-old with kids, with a lot of like, you know, he was like, how long was Ellen DeGeneres' program on? For years, right? So I mean, money was probably not an issue, right? So in situations, you know, there's more things to money. There's things that throw people off. But yeah, it's good to have a conversation about it and turning that negativity and productivity, especially in our
I'm
business.
also hearing, John. I'm also hearing there's some stuff leaking out that he lost all his money in FTX, the crypto stuff. He had pretty much his whole life savings in there. So there's a little bit of rumor out there. I'm not sure how true it is. I don't want to put it out there, but I did hear a story about that's what really caused him to do that. He had all his money in there and bottoms up.
Undiversified portfolio, huh?
Yikes. Yeah, well, you know, crypto. So I mean, 8 billion went under. Even Kevin O'Leary, you know, lost 15 million. So, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah. So it's good to have conversations, especially in situations like that. And then going back into our business, specifically in our business, you know, hey, you're gonna have great days, you're gonna have bad days. Typically you have a lot more bad days than great days. Or you get a lot more negativity, more rejection than you know, for sure sales, right? So you're not alone. It's part of the business, and there's ways to turn that negativity into productivity. So a couple of scenarios here. But do get checked. If it's, you know, 1 or 2 days, these will help. But if it's a constant thing, do get checked. You know, mental health is really a big thing nowadays. There's a lot more negative things happening nowadays, right? Market, you just look at the inflation, you look at there's a lot. So first one, you can complain. A lot of studies are out there. Give yourself 2 minutes, kill it. You know, institute your own no complaining week. Okay, so the more you complain, the more you feed into it. So if you can create a little rule for yourself, it'll help out, right? 2, move from envying to learning. This is a lot of things. Social media can really mess up your mind. You see other people, they talk about the positive side. They only talk about the good side. You know, they don't tell you how they got there. They don't tell you the good and the bad about it. You know, you can see a lot of success stories, but you don't see a lot of the sacrifices that they made to get there, or, you know, relationships they caused, or all these things. So it's good to see it, but you also got to learn from it. Okay. So we plainly don't know the reasons for the other actions. Make something up to help yourself if you have to. Okay. So People should move from envying to learning. You should examine what another person has achieved and make it your own plans to reach that goal. So especially here in FFL, you know, you're going to see numbers, you're going to see people doing, you know, 30K, 40K in production. That should be a source of evidence that you're in the right place. But that's it. Don't envy them. You don't. One of the top board members, his main line, he said, "Don't compare your day one with my day 1,000." Okay, because sometimes, I mean, they've been in the business for quite some time. Maybe they've had sales experience. They've been in insurance for even longer. So you can't compare their time frame of their success versus your first day. So there's things for you that you're going to end up learning. 3, use that adrenaline. When you get excited, when you get worried, when you have anxiety, there's adrenaline in there. So don't let it bottle up. So, you know, you can either do your calming exercises, you can do your mental meditations. Another option would be use that to yourself. Go run, go clean. Use that energy. Okay. Curb your analysis paralysis. So when you get jumbled up, you're over paralyzed, you don't make any motions, you don't make a move. So having small victories will help you out. Okay. Set 2 to 3 hours aside. So have like a little system. Okay. Focus on one task, fix one thing, get one thing done. At least, even though you're distracted, kind of like the conversation we had last week, you focus on one main thing, at least you got one done. And then now from being jumbled up, you're now, okay, one task accomplished. Let's move on to the next task. So you're re-engaged. Be open to negativity. It'll make you more resourceful. So ask questions if you're ready to ask questions. Ask for, you know, criticism when you're ready for it. Use your anger to smash creative blocks. Okay, so I like to say that in our business, use the frustration and learn from it. Okay, so figure out what you did right. If you missed the sale, what you could have said, and then sometimes those are the best learning lessons, right? So call right away if you felt like you had a presentation, you missed the sale. We'll talk about it, and then use that as a new creative opportunity, a new rebuttal, new objections that you can overcome. Monitor your productive fluctuations. So this is a really key important thing. Matt Smith talks about it. When you look at your schedule, look at how many blank spaces that you have, but pay attention to you. Like, when do you normally like check out? Okay, I have this thing where I just check out sometimes. Like, I get tied up, I get busy, like right before I sleep, I just want to be left alone and just go on sleep mode. Just be on your phone, just browsing until you check out. But monitor that. Are you checking out in the middle of the day when you should be productive? Okay. Are you missing on a specific task that you should be doing? Key thing when you're dealing with a negative emotion, very, very much, you know, don't bring your work back home type of stuff. Direct your negative emotions at problems, not at people. So you don't want to lash out. You don't want to yell at people that's on your side. So use that as a creative process. Explain it, but, you know, kind of like the number one, if you need to complain, don't complain and don't bring it to your family. 9, get centered. This is a little bit off the way I read it, but they did a study on performance, people that are on a race, on competition. The ones that are edgy, they change their center of mass. So it's like a workout regimen where, okay, maybe stand still, choose a focal point, you're recentering yourself so that you're physically, physiologically fixing your body to change your mind, change your mood. 10, solicit feedback when you're ready for it. And then lastly, achieve the right balance between optimism and pessimism. Okay, so I was talking to my lady the other day about this, and I got this from Jim Quick. When you're sad, you're thinking about the past. Okay, when you're sad, you're thinking about the past. That means something happened that made you sad. Okay, when you're worried, you're anxious, you're thinking about the future. Okay, so something is throwing you off because you're worried about this, you're worried about that, and you're losing your center. Going back to the number 9, being centered on what's happening now. Okay, so you got to recenter and you got to be in present. Okay, what presently can make you happy? Like, I will have good days and bad days at work, but when I go home, I see my 4-year-old. I can be in the present and just make her smile, make things go away, right? So have that balance between your optimism and pessimism. What are the things that makes you feel negative, and then have a understanding of what are the things that you can look forward to. And my conversation with Delise, she was talking about like, okay, so when you start looking into this, it's really, really important for you to identify what's your why. Okay. Because the bigger the why, the bigger the hurdle you can get over, right? Because if you have a small why into this business, something slaps you in the face, you start realizing, hey, man, let me quit. Let me find let me do a new job. So if you don't have a bigger why, that's gonna throw you off. So in specific to our business, I just made a couple of things on the minutes. Your negativity, first off, you got to talk it out. Okay. If you can't get out of your own head, let's talk it out. Reach out. But before you reach out, or sometimes I do that, I do this too. I talk to somebody. Let's first identify it of what you want accomplished. What is your purpose? Do you just need to vent? Do you just need to like this effing client, this and that? Or do you need to hear a solution? Do you want positive feedback? Okay. If you're not looking to hear an answer, then you're going to have a problem for every solution, right? Because if I start giving you ideas of how to fix it and you're just venting, you're like, nah, but this client will do this, that client will do this. It's not going to work out. So ask a couple of questions. Whatever your problem is this just a situation? Is it temporary? Okay. So one comment when I read about that, the 40-year-old that committed suicide, forgot his name, the Smith Boss. His last name is Boss, but he's also a break dancer. One comment about that post, this one person said, most often people look for a permanent solution for sometimes a temporary situation. The permanent solution was Sean himself for a temporary situation. Money can be fixed. You can make more money. Okay, can it be fixed? If it can, what would fix it? Okay, what can you personally do to fix it? What needs to change? Who can you talk to? Okay. What do you think? Who do you think can help? And most importantly, especially in our business, if you made more money, will this problem go away? That's the real question, right? If you wrote more business, if you wrote more and had more sales, will this problem go away? All right. So I want to give a little bit time and floor to Misha. He's been in a good positive light. Dealt always here at the office, dealt with a couple of things, resetting basically. Misha, go ahead and you have the floor. Just talk about like what got you to writing more, and I feel like you're writing more consistently. So I think you went from out of focus to more focus on personal production.
Well, I did pretty much everything that you've been talking about, literally. One, I mean, and you're gonna agree with me. Last month, you and I kind of sat down a few times, and a couple of those times we were just complaining. We were complaining about the situation. We were complaining about chargebacks. We were complaining about the environment, the heat, the cold, the weather, the whatever, right? But at that point, I mean, the whole mental shift, it was like, okay, well, we cannot continue talking about negative stuff. It is what it is out there. And the truth is that we were putting our focus on things that we could not control. So one of the conversations that you and I had, I mean, we came out with a solution. I mean, we can do this instead this. And I said, okay, well, let's go to work. And then, it was not easy. I got to tell you this, guys, because it wasn't easy. It's something that you have to really sit down and redesign, So I did a lot of stuff. First of all, what I did, I went through my social media and I cleaned it up. I got rid of every joke, every entertaining, everything that was going to just for entertainment purposes on my Instagram, for instance. I got rid of it.
Are you talking about who you follow?
About the people that I was following. So that way I got no distractions. I started adding people that give good content, like positive stuff, focus, growth, and stuff like that. So now when I open my Instagram, there is somebody saying, hey, focus, hey, do this, hey, do that. And I just close it and I continue working. Second one, as I put my schedule, because it's easier just to show up, but it's easy to get distracted, especially when you're by yourself. So one, I mean, I just focus 100%. I don't look into anything else except my call tools, my text messages, and activities that I need to take care of. If I have, like, I do have applications that are pending. As soon as I come in the morning, the first thing I do is just call the carriers. I gotta get that out of the way. The rest is just calling. The second one is I don't spend that much time in the office either. So if I'm here, I'm in certain days. Now I go to the field and I go door knocking. Just go back to the basics. Go to the door knocking, go through the notes, go through the driving, go through the traffic. It doesn't matter because at the end I feel like I really did something.
Yeah, you felt more productive because you were doing phones and then you're getting beat up on the phones, and it's the same thing. And how would you feel if you come back, you just had a bad phone day and you're going to repeat it the next day? You're not going to want to be in the office.
Exactly. So this change that activity mentality too. I stopped paying attention to people that were complaining to me. I stopped it, and I even told people, okay, if you have nothing productive to say, don't say it. If you cannot fix it yourself, don't pay attention to it. And some people came to me and complain about their uplines or their clients and this and that, and I was like, just move on. I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
Third, I made even more stronger effort not to watch or listen to news. I don't do that. Even at home, when my wife wants to tell me something, hey, do you hear this? I don't want to hear it. It's negative. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear anything negative. Right now, I'm rebuilding myself. I gotta focus on the positive stuff, because the truth is, it's so easy. I mean, we hear that all the time. Misery loves company, right? The more you listen to it, then you feel like you're not alone. Oh, so I'm doing bad. Well, so the guy's doing bad too. So let me hang out with him.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Just don't pay attention to it. If you must talk about it, just talk about it, but talk about it with a solution, and then move on. I mean, that's it. You're going to have to go through the problem, recognize the problem, identify the problem, identify what created the problem, and then find a solution, and then just move on. And then focus on something else that is not going to put you in the same position. So like recruiting, for instance, if you're going to recruit somebody now, don't recruit in the exact same way you did it the last time, because that was what put you in the position that you're in. So now you have to have a different conversation with the people. So it just comes to activity, following your schedule. Schedule is important. I mean, I went back to the mentality of my FFL time is non-negotiable. So when I'm working with FFL, it's non-negotiable. Sometimes I want to go out and, I don't know, have a beer per se. But no, what time is it? Oh no, still 2:00. I still gotta keep working. So now I fill out my days. My days are minimum from 9 to 6 at a minimum. If I have different activities, if I have appointments, I mean, until I'm done. You know what I mean? So the working time is non-negotiable. You have to just focus on it 100%. Take a break, you don't need an hour to relax. And just go for a quick walk, 5 minutes, reset the brain and come back.
Yeah.
But don't spend an hour outside in the park, because no, it doesn't work that way. Another thing is that I changed my hat from the business owner to the employee. So I answered to myself. But I mean, I cannot go home and say, okay, look, myself in the mirror and say, okay, what did you do today? And say, I'm the boss. Who cares? No, you can't do that anymore. I gotta think about the fact that I'm an employee when I'm here, because at the end of the day, my boss is gonna ask me what I did, and you know what I mean, right? And said, I'm the boss. I'm the one who calls the shots. I can do this. I can do that. I mean, that put me in the valley. So now I'm climbing out the valley by being an employee.
Yeah.
So those are little just mental shifts that I've been doing, that are putting more into making calls and making appointments, making sales, following up with clients. Before, I gotta be honest with you guys, I hated to follow up with a client. I said, this guy said no. Back then, I want to go back, and he's gonna say no again. But then I started pushing myself, and the guy goes, yeah, I'm ready now. Let's do it. And that's how come I started making more sales, because I started doing follow-ups on my notes.
Oh, nice.
So the people that are canceling for whatever reason, now I'm dialing those people. There's some people that are missing their payments, even people that are not even in my downline. I'm meaning direct to me, but like they are for my agents. I call them up. I said, hey, what can we help you? If I reclose them, well, then I call the agent. I said, hey, dude, resume the application again, so we can get paid, But it's a conversation that now you need to put yourself to have with people that you don't know. You just
Right.
gotta find out the reason why they're canceling and stuff like that. What I've been finding out with those calls is that people are canceling because they didn't understand what they had. So then when I explain that again, they say, okay, well, let's do it again. So then that's the plan. I mean, just to revisit everybody. I
That's
mean,
good.
maybe the payment that there was closed out was too high. Something,
Yeah.
So just focusing more on money making activities, spending less time bullshitting per se.
Well, that's good because like if you clocked in 9 to 6, right, and then you're continually putting yourself as an employee, it's kind of like if I go in the field myself, right, and the funniest part is when we go eat, the differences in management and restaurants, right? I like going to Chick-fil-A. Have you guys gone to a Chick-fil-A versus like a Burger King or McDonald's? They have a bunch of like young kids, 16-year-old, that continuously work. They'll continuously wipe something. They'll go over there. They'll offer you a mint. They'll offer you a refill. Like you could sit down. They'll take your drink for you and refill it for you for the same. They don't require a tip. That's a money-making, active producing activity. So if you clocked in from 9 to 6, you're going to start thinking, well, I'm the employee. What else can I do? What else can I do? I can call this. I can do that. I can do that. Instead of just being twiddling on your thumb, going on Instagram and just wasting time. And then
another thing is that the distractions are easy. For instance, a friend of mine called me and then he was telling me about the soccer team games. And I said, well, what games? And then he goes, yeah, the World Cup. And I was, dude, I didn't even know that the World Cup was going on. And then he goes, really? I said, yes, why not? It's not important. I mean, it does not do anything for me. And I don't have the luxury to sit down in the middle of the day to watch a game.
Yeah.
Who cares about, let me go to work.
We get spoiled, man, because like if you think about it, right? You make one sale. Let's say you only made one sale and you worked 8 hours. If you're making one sale and you made $1,000 and you divide it by 8 hours, you're still making $100+ an hour,
right?
Compared to anybody else. So
but another thing is,
don't
think about it that way either, though, because what happens if you make the sale at the beginning of the day? Is your day over? No, now the rest is gravy. You know what I mean? Now the rest is like, okay, well, let me make another sale so I can get ahead. So yeah, no, I mean, you just gotta be. What I did, I mean, not you guys, I mean, because what I did was, to become more disciplined with my own activities, listen to less negative stuff, avoid the negative conversations, avoid distractions, be more engaged in the business. I feel that within this last month, I mean, I did that more than I did. I mean, a couple of months prior. I mean, I don't know, for some reason, I feel that I got distracted. I also had some issues that I needed to take care of, but they were taken care of, and now I needed to get back in the game and regroup and reissue and have conversations, have the uncomfortable conversations that I didn't want to have with people in my team, some of the people in my team, and all that. So we can continue just moving forward.
But think about it now. How from right side of positive and excited versus left side of negative, where are you now? Middle, little to the right.
Well, if it was like this, if this was negative, this is positive, I was all the way over here, so now I feel like I'm getting closer to getting into the even part, because they're habits, they're habits that you create. And the funny thing is that those habits are easier to join, because they require no effort. It's easy just to sit down with somebody and vent and talk and listen about negative stuff. So yeah, just do the mental shift and go through your schedule, go through your activities. And you guys, I mean, you just gotta be honest to yourself and say, what am I doing? Am I only complaining about this guy? Am I only complaining about that situation, about the moon, the stars, the sun? things that you got no control over.
Yeah.
So I mean, you
Nice.
make the mental shift a little bit, and things start changing. Now you want to go to work the next day because you're pushing
Now you're
yourself.
excited. Now you're propelling yourself. Now you have momentum.
Right.
Thanks, Misha. Thanks for sharing. We're gonna jump into 2 o'clock call. I'm gonna this is gonna be saved and it's gonna be uploaded. Just look up FFL Elite Syndicate on YouTube. I'll have this loaded up. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you.